let's talk about Peter Pan and Wendy. This is our early reaction. Alan and I both saw Peter Pan and Wendy. It starts, I believe, April 28th on Disney Plus. If you're a Disney Plus subscriber, you will be able to see Peter Pan and Wendy. Alan and I have both seen it. Here's my reaction. I did not like it. If you've seen the trailer, that is the movie. I would say that probably the most egregious and obnoxious and cringe stuff is in that trailer. I didn't like. It's one of those. It's the other thing is I'll just acknowledge this isn't for me. It's for little children. It's also does one of those grading things where there's not a second of this movie that doesn't have music in it. It's wall to wall music, and it just gets grading because what annoys me about the music and the way it's used in this is that it's trying to tell you how to feel about something. And after a while, you're like, can we just have one scene where it's just a moment of quiet? The other thing that I thought, there is absolutely no chemistry whatsoever between the actor that plays Peter Pan and Wendy. They have no chemistry at all. Zero. In fact, this little boy, it's a little boy who plays Peter Pan, obviously. And Wendy's like much larger than him. Like she grabs him at one point, kind of holds him, and you're like, he's like a little kid.
Yeah, she's like a teenager in this one.
She's like a teenager, more teen or preteen at least. And he's like a little boy, literally a little boy. We can go on with nitpicks. We're not going to do that. This is our early reaction. You know, of late, I've not been a fan of Disney. So I think that Disney is, I think Disney is no longer a trusted brand. When it comes to parents, you can't just throw your kid in front of the TV and it's like, they're watching a Disney show. Who cares? I'm sure they'll love it, whatever it is. But Alan, okay, no surprise. I did not like Peter Pan and Wendy. If you have a Disney Plus subscription, maybe you have kids, whatever. Alan, you're the big Disney fan.
Yes.
I'm really curious what you think of Peter Pan and Wendy, your early reaction.
Michael.
Wait. Go ahead.
Yeah. Perfect. Michael.
No, Alan, honestly, what did you think of Peter Pan?
Honestly. Yeah, I kind of liked it.
What?
Look, okay, let's clear things.
Alan's having some technical issues right now. I'm really sorry, folks. We can't get him on. I'll try to get Alan back. Sorry about that, Alan. No, yeah. I really did.
I'll be honest. I was never really a fan of Peter Pan. I mean, I have appreciation for it. My daughter, when she was in elementary school, she was part of the musicals every single year, and they ended it with Peter Pan, and I just loathed it. She was great. Her friends were horrible. And yes, I'm back on the Disney payroll. You know, look, it's not meant for us. It's meant for young girls. I've made this complaint a lot. It's, you know, but I feel like what was given there, I think it will appeal to young girls. I think this is, in terms of being safe, I think I would feel safe for my kid to watch this one. There are a lot of good things about it. There's a lot of bad things about it. I'll start with the big one. Black Tinkerbell doesn't work.
Wait. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, the young lady who played Tinkerbell, who is of yeah. It did. I mean, part of it wasn't her. It was the way they portrayed Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell is this iconic character, and you know they had her in either two shots, one of a close-up of her face where she reacts, or from a wide shot where she's just this sparkling light. And in the Disney animated, it was just a small character. I mean, Walt Disney did that part right. And there was a lot more intrigue. You know, there's that part where Tinkerbell becomes jealous of Peter and Wendy. And, you know, that's an intriguing storyline, and it's different. But you know, this is kind of like The Beau is Afraid. There are things I saw in it that I appreciated. And for one thing, one of the opening scenes was basically Wendy is being sent off to boarding school for high school. And, you know, and she wants her to take care of her brothers. And she goes, well, I'm not the mother. You know, you need to do that. And the mother responds, look, I'm the mother. Yes, I'm the mother. Your father's a father, but you are the sister, and you need to be the sister. And this is kind of the theme of what Peter Pan and Wendy is. In fact, this movie should actually be called Wendy and Peter Pan because it focuses mostly on Wendy. But it's the idea of this young teenager who has to basically grow up and watch her brothers. And that's, I think, to be honest, I think that was the theme originally of Peter Pan was the idea that Wendy was kind of the mother to all the lost boys, and and it really leans into that, and it does it in a way that's not overly woke, other than the fact that she's the only, other than Tiger Lily, she's the only woman on the island. Well, no, there are other women now that I realize it. But but that's kind of her role is being the leader of basically everyone, even the pirates, and they kind of lean into that. And I kind of feel like, well, maybe that is kind of the message I want my daughter to have, to not always have to be so passive, but to take on that role of of the big sister, the woman. The stuff, other than that they mishandled Tinkerbell and didn't make her the iconic Tinkerbell, I'm okay with what happened there. The idea that there are girls in the Lost Boys, honestly, it's they didn't do much other than that. They were just Lost Boys, and so it's not like they were leaning heavily into it. And so I will say that we've always complained about, well, why don't they create their own female characters? And I feel like they did that right with Wendy. If you're going to have a girl star in a movie like this, I think Wendy was a great choice. And I think it worked. The last thing I'll say about it is the island, Never Never Land, the crocodile, the special effects, amazing. I love the special effects in this movie, and the way what they did with the crocodile, I'm blown away, and I think it's better than the original. So that's my thoughts on this one. So we disagree on it.
Well, yeah, we definitely disagree.
It's for kids. I will have to say that.
Yeah, the one thing I will say, yeah, actually, the crocodile is because it's much larger than portrayed in the cartoon.
Much more menacing.
It's much more menacing. They actually made it scary. I don't think the crocodile was that scary in the original animated Disney Peter Pan. This one was definitely much more menacing. And I will say this, that almost all the quote woke stuff that you would see, it's all in the trailer.
Yeah.
So it's not as woke as you think, but you're right. The woman, the actress who plays Tinkerbell, she's fine. Having said that, it doesn't, they didn't know how to use Tinkerbell in this movie. They just didn't know how to use her. They kept cutting back to her for reactions. She doesn't speak, right? She just reacts, so all of her reactions are very exaggerated and whatever.
Well, it's close up, it's facial, and you don't get a sense of body language coming off of it.
But I didn't like it. It's just not for me. Let's go to your comments.
Someone asked, what do you think of Jude Law's Hook?
I did not like Jude Law's Hook. I thought he was, first of all, you could barely tell it's Jude Law. He has so much makeup on, and it just looks like they kind of wasted him. So, and then he's like this sad character who decided to grow up and become an adult. And
well, I mean, I think that's to me, that's one of the things I liked about it was the true nature of the relationship between him and Peter Pan, and how they basically became each other. I will agree with you. No chemistry between Wendy and Peter. And I'll just repeat by saying there's a lot I liked about it, and there's a lot of I didn't like about it. There's a lot. This is a very flawed movie, and to me, I think what I liked kind of overtook what I didn't like about it.
Well, I think I'll say this: it a lot of it just looks like it was just shot on green screen, and the kids were just either on the volume or a set or green screen. Was a lot of the filming of the movie.
Yeah, and I think they did a better job of it than what we've seen in the past from Disney. I think this is one of the better ones. But yeah, you're right.
Alan liked it. I say it's soulless garbage, soulless corporate content. That's what this is. Let's go to your.
I'll make my kids see it, and we'll see what her feeling is about it.
All right. It does concern me. If you're a father to a young son, what do you show your son as your son is growing up? What do you show your son as entertainment? other than like older movies. They aren't making anything new. It is, and I will say this, I've said it before, Disney has a way of feminizing every brand it brings under its umbrella. Marvel is now currently a feminized brand. Star Wars is now a feminized brand. It just happens.